Sandra, welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button down below right here, right now. I'm going to switch you around a bit so you can see me a bit better. Right here, right now. So yeah, you'll get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video if you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. And if you didn't know who I am Sandra Bermier, author of this beautiful book, Asexual Perspective, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. Well, welcome to tonight's episode. It is in fact another no sex movie review. Now, if you didn't already know, I am asexual. Asexuality. Hello, Ray. Lots of love, my friend. If you didn't already know, I am asexual. If you think of asexual, A in the word sexual is all one word because that's what asexual is. It's not two separate words. It's all together. And if you think of the A as absence of sexual attraction, then you'd be on the right lines. So an asexual person doesn't experience a need, urge, or want for partner sexual intercourse. It doesn't mean to say that all asexuals don't have sex, but we don't have that innate need or desire for it. We can take it or leave it, or in some cases, like me, a sex repulsed asexual, we just don't want it again in our life, or some people have never had it in their life and never want it ever. So that gives you a brief about what asexuality is. And I personally like to watch movies that have got no sex in them whatsoever. I can't stand sex. I don't like nudity. I don't think they're necessary for films. But most of the population do think it's good to have it in there. And of course, that's because they get attracted to stuff like that. But I really don't. I think it spoils the movie. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't like it. It makes me feel sick at times. So I try to watch movies that have no sex in them whatsoever and no nudity. Right? It's really important for me to have that. So this film review is all about Dora and the Lost City of Gold. And it's a kids movie. So if you don't want any spoilers, if you don't, hello Andy, nice to see you. Lots of love to another friend. Meet Ray. Ray meet Andy. Andy meet Ray. Ray I rescued from a sexual dating group. He's asexual too, so he's now part of the asexual ace team. Lovely guy, got a beautiful dog, does a lot to rescue dogs. Really, really good guy. Really going to be an awesome friend. We're really good friends already. So it's brilliant. He shares videos as well of his dogs. So yes, moving on because people want to know about this movie review. So I have to tell you, if you're going to see Dora and the Lost City of Gold, you won't like this review if you don't like spoilers, because I'm going to be reviewing a lot about the movie, right? So let me just turn my iPad off, switch my iPad down now. So basically, yes, Dora and the Lost City of Gold. I really, really, really loved this film. It was one of the best no sex movies I've seen, right? So if you didn't already know, there's something called Kids Club in the UK. I don't know if you have it where you live, but it really is great because you can watch movies for £2.50. You don't have to have a kid. So people think you've got to have a child to go to Kids Club. You don't. You can be the kid like me. And I love it because these films that come on the main screen that usually cost over £12 in the week, right? When they're on the big screen, when they go to what they call the mini mornings, which are the kids ones, you get them £2.50. People have paid over 12 quid. I have to say, the film today, you know, if I was into paying full price for films, it would have been worth it. I'm not into paying full price for films. I either go on Mondays, View Cinema. If you go on their mailing list in the UK, I don't know where you live, what the policy is with your local cinema. If you go on the mailing list for View Cinema, you can actually, just by being on their mailing list, they can send you a code and you can literally get reduced tickets on a Monday. It is in the UK near where I live in Exeter, basically. Well, in Exeter is where I live. So yeah, and all over the UK in the majority of places. I think London might be a bit different, but View Cinema, I don't know if you already knew that, but yes, you can get, I think it's a third off. So basically on Mondays, all the films are £4.99, whereas every other time in the View, they're over in the View Cinema, they're over £12. You can at the moment go to Odeon, and most films there throughout the whole week are all £6. There have been some exceptions. I watched Black Panther, and that was £8 instead of £6, even though they advertise every film anytime you want at £6. So anyway, but it was like the premiere of it, so I didn't mind an extra couple of quid, you know. So Dora and the Lost City of Gold, what can I say? I mean, the action, the adventure, the humour, there was a love story in it as well. Everything was just action packed from beginning to end. I was very, very, very impressed, and I think this is why it stayed on the big screen, the main screen, for so long. It was on there last week, and I couldn't wait for it to come on Kids Club. I didn't know that it definitely would, but I thought it should, because Dora the Explorer is a very, very young kids animation, if you didn't already know that, and they've made it into a actual people film, real people. So there's a girl playing Dora the Explorer, a young Dora and then an older Dora, as she goes between 6 and 16, I think it is, in the beginning of the movie. And they've picked a really, really incredible young actress for the role, and she fits Dora the Explorer well. I have seen Dora the Explorer because sometimes I do watch kids TV. I do like watching kids movies, and I also like writing children's picture books for 3 to 5 year olds, but most people don't know that about me. And I haven't had anything published yet, but I do have one book that's completely finished, been finished for a long time. I've sent it off to publishers before, but they said it's very difficult to translate that into foreign rights. So, you know, if I was to self-publish that, it would cost me quite a few £100s, because it's very heavily illustrated, and I have to pay an illustrator to do that. You'd be looking about £370 upwards to do that. And because my niches that I actually serve, obviously, like in asexuality, they're not actually targeted at children, obviously, for obvious reasons, then, you know, it's a completely different market that I don't actually have a foot in, as it were. So, you know, in terms of me self-publishing, I'd rather publish non-fiction books, which have got more adult, well, you know, like more content for adults in than kids, because I can make my mark on the world more on that, because people understand me online more for that, and asexuality in particular. Okay, so that's where I'm at with that. But I do like literally writing kids books, and so, you know, Dora the Explorer would be something that a kid of 3 to 5 would actually watch, you know. And I like Mr. Men books and Little Miss books, all that type of age group stuff. It's really just fun reading. Do you know what I mean? So I was very impressed with the actress that played. I mean, obviously the little actress, the smaller one, about 6 years old, she wasn't in the movie very long. And it basically, in the beginning of the movie, it was her and this boy that was her cousin. They used to be very good friends, and they had that she had to leave her friend behind, or her friend had to leave her, because she was going away with her parents, who were moving to like the jungle because they're explorers. And so she went away in the jungle. She's supposed to have been there for 10 years, home tutored by her parents, which were professors, or were professors, until they decided to go on this exploring mission. Yeah, so she goes in the jungle for like 10 years. You see her have this monkey friend. You see she has like a python around her neck, and has no problem with really kind of what people might find these creatures scary. She has no problem. She has no, because she's been brought up around that, she doesn't have a fear of that, which is great. And then all of a sudden her parents decide, because she keeps having accidents and stuff, that she isn't ready to go on their wildest adventure, which is to this you know, this place that's got gold in it. Basically, it's like a lost city with gold. That's apparently what's supposed to be there. And so so they say, I think you should go to school. And she's never been to school, Dora. So her parents and her separate. She goes off to this new school, and who should be there but her cousin, because she stays with her cousin, who she knew was 6 years old, but she's 10 years old. She's like 16 now. I think that's the right ages, if I've got the age right in the first place of being 6. But it definitely says 10 years later, so I assumed she was 16. I might not be right about that, but I'm definitely still a teenager. I know that because it said in the movie. And so so yeah, Dago is her cousin, and she goes to stay with him and his family. But because he's older now, and he's got like an image to protect at school, and certain, you know, he's more closed off to her. They used to be best friends and friendly, and now he's really like not bothered about her. He even turns around, well, he acts like he's not bothered, right? But obviously you find out later he is. and he's more for appearances, more for fitting in. And Dora, she comes to the school, and I absolutely love her positivity, right? Absolutely adore it. She comes and she goes, "Oh, hi, I'm Dora," and she's going, "It's a lovely day today, isn't it?" And I know some people could get sick of that type of thing. They could think it's an irritating voice or whatever, but I love positivity. And I just think it's so refreshing to see someone like that in a movie, right? And especially as I don't like sex and all that rubbish stuff. Do you know what I mean? I don't want that in my life. I just want to watch happy movies, or movies with like moving stories that have got no sex and nudity, which isn't necessary. I don't want that, you know, throw that out the window. I'm not interested in that. And the kids' movies, some of them are really hard storylines. I mean, this was good. I thought this was suitable for children and adults, but there was a woman behind me, right? Now, I'm usually laughing more than the kids in any movie, but this woman behind me, she was laughing more than anyone in the whole of the cinema, and her laugh was really funny. It was a bit like a hyena's. And so not only had you got the monkey and the animals and kind of the jungle theme in the actual film, you got this woman behind me. I loved her. I think not I loved her because I don't know her. I loved her spirit. Do you know what I mean? Because she was behind me and she was just having so much more fun than the kids even. I didn't even know she had a kid with her. I thought she was the kid, like me usually, but she was I didn't laugh as much as her. She was like cackling, laughing, going and it was really funny. But I loved her laugh. It added to the atmosphere, and everyone in the cinema could hear her, and she was amazing. She was literally just behind me, and I was just so happy to be in front of her, because I love people that are full of energy, full of life, full of positivity, because it just makes you feel so good. It makes you feel like there's other people in the world that you can connect with, even if it's for a brief moment in that way, you know? And she was so excitable and she was so loving it. And at one point, there was more adults laughing than the kids, because some of it was really, really, really funny. There was this moment, right, where what happens is basically, to give you a brief, like, fast forward into the middle of the film, right? What happens is Dora's parents are meant to have been kidnapped, or something's happened to them, you presume kidnapped, or something's happened to them in the forest. They've gone missing or something. So she gets put into this, she goes to this museum, and this woman says, "Oh, I hear you're trying to look for this part of the museum that's closed off." She takes Dora down this stairs. These three people, including her cousin from her school, they go with her, and it's a trap. And they say, "Oh, your parents, we need to get to the treasure before they do." They kidnap Dora, but her friend's already in this box that they shove her in. And then they get to the other end, and this guy comes up and goes, happens to turn up when Dora flips the box open up a bit with a knife. And he's like, "Oh, I'm a friend of your parents." And of course, you're a bit skeptical, but "I'm a friend of your parents, so you must come with me, and I've got to escape." So he helps her to escape with her friends, and then the action adventure continues. And then these people that kidnapped Dora, originally her friends, they're on the hunt for Dora and her friends, and Dora's on the hunt for her parents with this guy who's meant to have known them for years. And and they go in the jungle. And they just have all these puzzles and everything. You know, these real action adventure, a bit like the Crystal Maze type of stuff. A bit like if you've ever seen some of those films, like Indiana Jones type underground cave stuff, where they've got stuff coming out the walls that could kill them, like spikes and things. And it's like that. And so literally, you really on the edge of your seat. You know, it's like fiction, but it's so good. The special effects were amazing. And it's the costumes. There's some costumes later on that was awesome, but you know, just all these things, and it was constant. It was like they had to solve this problem, and they had to solve that problem, and they had to solve another problem. And even though I've seen like these type of movies a million times before, it was just the way it was done. It was so clever. It's like always ongoing. It was like Dora, her story, and you know, I mean, her cousin when she first moved to school said, "Oh, you shouldn't be yourself," because she was trying to dance monkey dance at the dance. "Oh, you shouldn't be you anymore. You should basically fit in with everyone else," right? And when they go to the jungle, eventually her cousin becomes more friends with her again, because they're going through this traumatic experience together. And he says, "Oh, I'm not leaving you. I'm staying with you," because there was an opportunity for him to go, which wasn't the opportunity that it looked like it was, but he stayed with her. And so they became sort of much more better friends again, really helped each other out. And this I haven't told you kind of the subplot of one of the women. There was a guy that went with Dora and her cousin. The guy fancied Dora, and there was this woman older girl who fancied her cousin, and her cousin fancied her cousin fancied her because her cousin's a him. But they act like they hated each other, and she's like acted like a spoiled brat, and she was horrible to Dora a lot of the time. But as they're going through this jungle, of course, all their personalities are like having to go together more and gel together. And I was going to tell you about this one hilarious moment when Dora, the woman who's all prim and proper and like, oh, I'm not friends with Dora, don't class me as friends just because we're in the jungle, this is how our behavior is in the beginning, she needs to go to the toilet for a poo. And I actually say this in the film, it's so funny. And Dora's like, oh, no problem, I've got something for that. And Dora's got this backpack, right? The backpack speaks to the backpack. There's a bit of a cartoony bit in one part of the film, and the backpack speaks to her, and the map speaks to her. This is in the actual real cartoon, because I have seen parts of the cartoon. But anyway, throughout most of the film, her backpack's not talking to her, but she's got all these objects in here that just like the bag's one of those never-ending bags, right, where you can pull all the objects out and they just go flying everywhere. And she's got whatever you want in a survival instance would be in this bag. So she pulls out this shovel and she starts shoveling this earth for this woman to go to the toilet for a poo. And she takes the woman away to a space where she starts digging. And this is so funny. The whole audience, like in the cinema, we were just laughing our heads off. TM, I don't know what it is, but thank you for joining us. So yeah, oh, you're Russian. Okay, I don't speak Russian, but thank you for joining us. And so it's really, really, really hilarious, right? Because you don't kind of expect them to talk about poo in a movie, do you? Not to that extent. And this shovel, she's just shoveling away. And she sings songs for a lot of the film. Because Dora the Explorer, she does think a song solves everything, right? And so it's really, 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 really funny. If you've never seen the movie Trolls, oh, thank you for the thumbs up. Lots of love. If you've never seen the movie Trolls, the main character in Trolls, which is another fantastic kids movie, she's always happy no matter what happens, always positive, which annoys people around her, but she's always positive. So going back to Dora, she starts breaking into song. So she starts doing a song about shoveling to do with this shoveling to create a poo hole, and that's why it's just so funny. I mean, it was just hilarious, like shovel all day long or whatever. It was just really, really funny. Really, really, really hilarious. You have to see the movie if you want laughs. I mean, it was just incredible. I was really, really, like, you can tell how enthusiastic I am about movie. I thought it was one of the best kids movies I've seen in a heck of a long time. I mean, the way it was done was so clever. I was never bored. I was never ever bored in any part of the film. It's like always action, adventure, but it was a good even mix of action, adventure, story about Dora and how people are trying to change her to conform to society when she goes to the big city and the school, and about like it's more fearful being around people a lot of the time than it is when you're on your own, because when you're around people can hurt you, they can bully you, they can try and change you, make you conform to their wishes and what they want you to be. Thanks for the thumbs up. And so, it was all about that aspect. It's quite deep in that way, and I just thought this is an incredible movie. And you saw, she didn't lose her whole bubbliness, which I'm really glad about. You saw parts of the film where she was sad because people were trying to make her something that she's not. They were trying to silence her songs and silence the voice within her. And I think this is so like true of real life, like I feel much better when I'm at home doing my writing and stuff like that than I ever did in any employed job, like I was made redundant in 2017. That was the last time I worked for an actual employer. I worked for them for 5 years, but I worked for a company within an organization. It was like it was a concession, so I didn't work. I worked in a host store, but there was this one guy and he bullied me for 4 years. He used to follow me around the department, follow me around wherever I walked, stop people talking to me, tell me what to do when he wasn't my manager. And it was just horrible, and try and make me do lift things that I couldn't lift and be nasty about it. So, I wasn't like, I wasn't sad to see that go, you know. And now I'm at home. Yes, I have like in terms of finances, I don't have like this income coming in every month, but I am so much more happier. I don't have this bully anymore. I don't have people trying to make me conform because but I wouldn't conform anyway. But you know, like you do have to stick by certain rules, otherwise you get told off, like I did once, because I talked about asexuality a bit too much apparently. So the customers never complained, but one of the management said something to me, but it's like, well, you know what I'm like anyway. No one said anything before when the customers never said anything, so what's the problem? But never mind, I did like stop talking about it like as much as I used to, but you know, I abided by the wishes because obviously if you've got a job, you got to abide by the rules. If no one tells you you're not abiding by, or they want these certain rules imposed and you've got to do it. But obviously, you know, when you can be truly yourself and live in your own space and be your own best friend and just, you know, like live life as it truly is meant to be lived, then it's much better and healthier for you. And you know, the story was interesting because, you know, it went through the fact that, you know, they were trying to conform her, trying to make her something she wasn't, trying to dull down her voice. But at the same time, there was all this like friendship building with her that she'd never had before. This group work, this teamwork, this kind of like change around in her life. So it kind of went bad in some ways because they were trying to make her conform. But what happened in the end is some of the people who, you know, like the woman that was horrible to her, she actually ended up being nice to Dora and classing her as a friend. And all the people, like her cousin was happy with again, and the guy, you know, like really liked Dora. The guy didn't kiss Dora, but in the end there was a kiss. So if you do like romance, right, there was a kiss at the end. I wasn't sure they were going to kiss because I watch a lot of kids movies and they, you know, they've got the type of platonic friendship love, but they haven't got their kiss love. But no, she did. The woman that the older, she's like looks older than she's like the older girl who liked her Dora's cousin. She did kiss him in the end. And that was nice, I thought, because he, you know, she was a bit cruel to him in the beginning, and in the end, she just gave him a kiss and goes, "Yes, I do like you too," before he even said anything. And he was saying, he was basically saying he did later on anyway. He was showing her a do. He goes, "Oh yeah, I look at what you wear," because he was talking about, oh, when you did such and such a thing, and she's going, "When was that?" He goes, "Oh, when you were wearing like pink and red." "Yes, I do look at you." He's going, "I do care," and stuff like that. So I just thought it was a really, really good film. And Dora was the hero of the whole movie. I mean, in the end, she was incredible. And I just loved her vibrancy, her energy. And the film ended with this most amazing like party you have ever seen in your life. Like the woman behind me, I told you, was laughing. She was clapping like this all the time to this song, and it was all about being best friends, and it was just going on and on for ages. And Dora was there with her school friends, and instead of like, you know, like in the beginning where she was made fun of, I told you, because she did dancing like a chicken and various animals, monkey it was, I don't think I said chicken, monkey, but monkey and chicken and all different animals. Like her brother's like, "Oh, you're embarrassment," they were mocking her, so I didn't go into all that detail. But when they came back, her cousin's new girlfriend, which was a older girl, well, she looked older, which wasn't so nice to her, to Dora in the beginning, and this guy who fancied her, they all did the dance with her. And so they all go, "Oh, look at the dorks, look at the dorks," but they really didn't care. And then everyone started joining in, and so they had a room full of people doing all these different dance moves. Then they gathered more people, like out in the, I think it was out in the grounds, and they just gathered more and more. And there's just this beautiful song all about friendship, and it's so uplifting. And it's like this huge, massive party, and people in the actual cinema, like the woman behind me, she was clapping, and the kids were getting up at the front and they were dancing with each other, and everyone's just having a lovely time. And I was doing this, jigging up and down like this, and it was just, I joined them clapping as well. I thought, sod it, she's doing it behind it, so behind me, so I'll just join in as well. And I just felt so elated. Like it just felt like a beautiful volcano showering pretty lights everywhere and sparkly things, you know. That's how it felt inside me, you know, the excitement of this beautiful uplifting song, all the people doing all these different dances. It wasn't just like monkey and chicken dances, it developed into sort of all these like moves like this, and you know, there's like it looked like there were like, I don't know, about 100 people or more in the in the end. I don't know, but it was just incredible. It was just one of those really feel good movies in the end, where like Dora was a true hero of all the film, but she had these friends and just everyone was happy together, and she was fine, accepted for who she was, and her her cousin stepped up to the stepped up to the whatever, like he basically was he's been a good guy in the end, right? Stepped up to the plate, that's the word I was looking for. He was being a really good guy, and he joined in with her, and he loved her for who she was as a cousin friend, and I just thought, this is amazing. This is a really good end to the movie. The song was just uplifting, and afterwards when the credits came on, they played another song which was like this rap type song that was part in the film, because there was this really funny moment, right? Really funny moment when her parents told Dora she's got to go to this school in the city. She couldn't be with them anymore because she's having too many accidents, and they were going to look for the lost city of gold, which eventually the kids did find, right, including Dora. But he's like the dad, the husband. She's got a mother and father and married, and the dad, he's saying, oh yeah, well, when you go to the hi Eunice, lots of love to you. And so when it's really nice to see you. So when I've nearly finished my movie review now as well. So what was I saying? Yes, this was really funny bit in the movie. When basically her dad, Dora's dad, is literally saying about the city and how scary it is, and they have these thing called raves, and they, and these raves, and they're going whoop 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 whoop, and he starts doing all this like weird rapping stuff, going I can't do it because I'm crap at doing stuff like that, excuse my language, but you know what I mean. He's doing all beatboxing and stuff like this, and it's like really, really, really funny. And so just this bit goes on for ages, and her dad gets well into it, because obviously her dad's in the jungle. He's supposed to be like jungleized, and he's supposed to be this explorer that doesn't really talk about things like that, that doesn't really like say about stuff like that. That's kind of a bit more, he acts more like a husband, like a conservative type person, but you really see him come to life, and it's just so hilarious. And in the end credits, they play all this type of like rappy sort of beatbox music, and I was just like going along to that, like I usually do. And it was so incredible. So not only was there the feel good friendship song at the end, which was just like elating for me, there was all this like rapping type of music at the end as well. One thing that's a little bit annoying is the cleaners, they do start coming in, and they literally stand partly in front of the screen when like this beautiful song was on about friendship, and I was just thinking, can you please sit down? It was so annoying, but they do that. And this one guy I've seen there before, and you have to kind of block him out your space, because if you make eye contact with him, he gives you these really weird looks like, you shouldn't be in here now, this is the credit, this is like the after credits, do you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not interested in him. I'm interested in the film and the credits, because I paid for the whole movie, including the credits. Do you know what I mean? Excuse me, I need to take a drink. I drink water in Eeyore mugs. And so yeah, that is a bit annoying. And I've seen this older guy before, but you just have to ignore him. But he literally just stands there staring, going, gormless. But yeah, keep watching to the end. I do, Andy. I do. And hi, Ray's still here. Eunice is here. Andy's still here. Everyone's still here. It's lovely. Oh, you love Eeyore. So do I, Andy, as you can see. I've got loads of Eeyore. I don't know where to talk about Eeyore right now, but yes, I love Eeyore. Eeyore's the best. I've got so much Eeyore stuff. It's unreal. Tons of Eeyore stuff. What Eeyore stuff have I got? It's going off the point of the movie now, but I do have a lot of Eeyore stuff. I'm like in pajamas tonight. Look, I've got Let's Go for Eeyore, shall we? Seems we're talking about this movie. This is my hot water bottle. It's so cute, people. What other Eeyores have I got? Oh god, I've got this Eeyore. It's an Eeyore. This one is my spider prevention Eeyore. I'm not so into Tigger. That's because my ex was into Tigger, so I don't really want anything to do with that. But yes, this is like my spider detour Eeyore, or deterrent, because this one sits at the side of my bed in the gap, but spiders usually come up on his bum, and I hate spiders, so it's not good. Yeah, so I keep him in the gap between my bed and the wall, and if any spiders, they usually hit his bum, I just try not to pick him up, because sometimes when I picked him up, there's been stuff on there. At least they don't bite. Oh yes, Ray got bitten by a dog that he was trying to save from barbed wire today. Ray is absolutely adorable. You know, with animals, he's amazing. Really good guy. Really good guy. What other? I've got tons of eat-alls. I don't want to pull them all down because, like, they're right up there. Some of them. Oh, something you haven't seen. I'll show you this one. Right. Like, you'll be super impressed. This is a rug. Look at this rug, people. This is an eat-all rug. This is almost as big as your dog, Ray, isn't it? Look at this. An eat-all rug. That's pretty wow, don't you think? Hello, I'm Eeyore. See, I think Eeyore's really cute, but some people say he's depressed, and I didn't even know he's depressed. Vincent, do you want me to report you? Right. Well, I don't know why you're asking that. Right. So, yes, thank you, Ray. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Yeah, it's really cute, isn't it? It's a gorgeous rug. Thank you for the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. So, yeah. Oh, I really like eat-all stuff. It's really good. What else can I show you? Did I show you my 21st stuff? I know we've gone completely digressing off Dora now, the Explorer, but definitely go and see the Dora and Lost City of Gold. It's cute. So when I went to Disneyland for my 21st Mindset birthday, I got this for myself. I still keep it. So it's a mug and coaster set. I bought that. Normal. I love your stuffed animals. The worst day of my life was when my parents forced me to get rid of my stuffed animals. Normal. I'm so sorry to hear that. That's horrible. Normal's from Pakistan, am I right? Oh, much love to you. Normal. So sorry to hear that. So sorry to hear that. It's really sad. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what age you are. You should live the age you want to be and have what you want to have in life. Do you know what I mean? That's just sad. But don't forget, when you live out of home, you can go back to having cuddly toys and have as many as you want. Do you know what I mean? Was it stuffed animals or was it cuddly toys? Because obviously stuffed animals is like dead animals stuffed, isn't it? Which some people do like. Some people don't. Do you know what I mean? So I know you said stuffed animals. It might not be actual cuddly toys because I thought you meant cuddly toys. But yeah, that's my 21. And then my friend, oh, cuddly toys, normal. Yeah, I love cuddly toys. I always love them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm single, so I got loads of cuddly toys in bed with me. It's nice to cuddle up to. But yeah, that's my 21st key. So I really love that. It's really cool. But yeah, I've got a lot of other Eeyore stuff, but they're kind of like really high, and I can't move my Mac up there because obviously my Mac's stationary in my wardrobe, which you can't see. But yeah. So, but I definitely recommend going to see Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Wrap. My parents gave my stuffed animals to the local dog shelter as toys. Oh, hi, Wrap. Well, Ray, just to introduce you to Ray, who's in this chat. Ray works with animal. He rescues animals. So Ray's a really good guy. I'm still angry 45 years after. Oh, but they went to a good home, Wrap. Do you know what I mean? They went to a good home. That's what you have to think. Sometimes doggies need them more than we do. I mean, when I was living at home with my parents, I did get a bit annoyed with them because they gave some of my toys away to other children and stuff as I got older. But then I'm like, but they weren't cuddly toys. I don't think. Oh, some of them probably were. But do you know what I mean? Like some of my toys that I wasn't asked about. No, it's a place where they. Oh God, sorry, Wrap. Where they anaesthetize dogs. Oh, that's horrible. I completely sympathise with you. So sorry. Much love to you. Do apologise about that. That's horrible. Yes, and Ray wouldn't be happy about that, would you, Ray? Because Ray saves dogs. He saved a dog from barbed wire today. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's incredible. I love cats so much. I love giving my leftover meat sticks to the local cats. That's really sweet, normal. I think a lot of asexuals do have pets and do love animals as well. I know because we don't have sex or don't like sex, the majority of us. Do you know what I mean? We have better things to be doing with our time, and we tend to have pets a lot because they're cute and cuddly and they give so much love, don't they? Do you know what I mean? Like love without sex. I get a nice oh yes, Ray saved a dog from barbed wire today, but he got badly bitten. So me and Ray are friends on Facebook. I rescued him from a sexual dating group and found out he's asexual, so it's so good to have him here. And yes, Ray does a lot to help dogs, and he sent me some video footage of his dog, which is incredible, husky dog, and he showed me a picture of his leg being bit, which isn't nice. So just make sure you keep it. I'm sure, well, Ray's used to this type of thing anyway, but used to being bitten doesn't sound quite nice, does it, Ray? But yes, so you did get a bite because you said the dog was really scared, but I can't, you know, the dog, like you said, if the dog was in barbed wire, I mean, that's really, really horrible. And I hope it's okay now, the dog, and that you're okay, that you get better, because obviously it was a big bite. I saw it in the picture you sent me. So hope it gets better soon. So I'm sorry, Rap, about that. Yeah. So I mean, I did sell 2 of my cuddly toys recently that I didn't use very much anymore. So because I think, well, I've got my friend coming for an asexual meetup soon. Asexual Awareness Week. Asexual Awareness Week. People have started. This is so cool. So Asexual Awareness Week runs from October the 20th, which we've now gone over midnight. We're 34 minutes past midnight in the UK on Sunday, the 20th of October 2019. And Asexual Awareness Week goes from now to goes from now to Saturday the 26th. And my best asexual friend is with me at the end of Asexual Awareness Week. Finally a week for us. Yes, normal. So I'm going to be doing asexual awareness videos. Yes, Rap, I'm so happy too. Spread the word, people, spread the word. So yeah, so I'm going to be doing I'm going to be doing more educational videos over the next 7 days about asexuality. So that's what I'm going to be talking about, you know, to fill people in on the details that don't really know about it so much. So obviously if you're asexual and you've known about asexuality, oh, thank you, Andy. Lots of love to you, my friend. But yeah, so so if you didn't already know about asexuality, then, you know, some people don't, or they've got missing information, or they have a lot of stereotypes about it and myths. I'll be doing like every day now for the next 7 days on the live stream. I'll be doing all about asexuality and different bits of it, so people can really, really grasp it. And obviously you can share them on social media as well. They'll be live as well. I tend to do everything live these days because I just think, well, I've just got so used to doing it live. I think it's brilliant that I can talk to you all in real time. Like, you can see a real live asexual. Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people go around saying asexuals don't exist, they're not real, it's all like rubbish. It's like, well, no, clearly it's not rubbish because I'm here. Like, I am real. Even if you pinch me, don't pinch me because I don't like it. But do you know what I mean? I'm very real. I've got real skin. I'm here every single night for you guys, as you know. So you can actually say there is an asexual person. Go and watch her channel if you don't believe me. And because I am a little bit older, not much, obviously, because I'm only 21 in mindset, but it does help, I think. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, well, she must know what she's talking about because she's had some experience of life. And so I think that's really, really important to know. And yeah. So I will be doing more about asexuality and as particularly the stereotypes and things. Not as old as you, Ray. Ray, you're not the oldest asexual I've come across. You do know that, don't you? So I look 21. Thank you. Thank you, Normal. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. I like to look 21. Some guys have actually thought I look 21, like actually look like 21, which is wonderful. If you see me out dancing, because I do go clubbing sometimes with and when I go clubbing, I go to a place that's got younger foreign guys there and younger British guys, but I don't really get attracted to British guys. But I spend a lot of time dancing on my own there, actually. But yeah, like when I was like went there, because I always usually do videos that you can see, so I talk about what it went like. And when I was there before, yeah, there was these university students there, and so they just like start university. I think they were like freshers, 18. And they're asking me to go. It's really sweet. The girls were saying, oh, you on your own, you can come and dance with us. It was really nice, you know. And they're a lot more accommodating than some older people, you know. Like, there was this one woman once, and she was really bitchy to me because I don't care that I'm a little bit older, and I don't care about what people think of me. I just go there, I dance on the stage part in front of everyone. I'm dancing on my own sometimes with no one else on the stage at the beginning for like, you know, and I'm just loving it. And I don't care what I wear, I don't care what I look like. She was really rude in the toilet. She goes, "How old are you?" I said, "I don't give people my age," and went off. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I couldn't care less what they think. My birth certificate age has no relevance to who I am. I'm not interested in it. If they're interested in it, that's their problem, not mine. And so thank you for the compliment of looking like 21. But I know some guys have thought I looked 21. And I think they thought I was, because they said to me, like, they must have thought I was younger than that. Because they're like, "Oh, you know, university, what are you studying at university?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm not actually at university. I'm a writer. I got books on Amazon." And then she called her friend over and go, "Oh, this," you know, because her friend liked reading. And her friend was doing something, I think her friend was doing a degree in English or something, and she said, "Oh, this girl like writes, you know, like books on Amazon." So, and one of the girls, she let me dance with her boyfriend, I think it was. He must have been like 18, but I would much rather dance with him than this older guy later on that came up to me that must have been like God knows what age. He was like, had grey hair. I know the most I can do with older guys is hold their hand. Like, but I don't like getting too near them because it just doesn't feel comfortable for me, because I'm not into older guys at all. And he was like, I told him in the end, he goes, "Are you single?" I said, "I don't like sex." That was my answer to, "Are you single?" "I don't like sex." Like, leave me alone. And he's like, oh, no problem, I can use a dildo. And I'm like thinking, hang on a minute, we're talking sex talk here. I'm not even interested. And he was trying to get my number afterwards. And I'm like, no. And I went off in the taxi home, and he was trying to give me a lift home. I'm like, I'm not getting a lift home with someone I don't know, a guy I don't know. "I know you're not into older guys." "Oh yeah, Ray, sorry. Ray would like me to be into older guys because Ray's older, aren't you, Ray? You're 55, bless your heart. You're a lovely person. You've got a lovely heart, but I can't be aesthetically attracted and romantically attracted to an older guy, because I can't kiss an older guy. It's no offense to you, Ray, because I'm sure there's a beautiful woman out there for you, because you've got a heart of gold. Like, personality-wise, your personality is absolutely beautiful. Do you know what I mean? You know, in terms of personality, it's wonderful, but I just can't kiss an older guy. I just can't do it. Honestly, I can't do it. Even if I have thought about, because it's kind of hard to find the right younger guy. And I have thought about like forcing myself, like, but not 55. Like, once I did go out with one older guy, 43, but you kiss with eyes shut, ha ha ha. But yeah, well, sometimes I kiss with my eyes open, sometimes I kiss with them closed, but I can't kiss a guy who's older than me. I don't mean it rude, but it would be like kissing my dad. Not that I ever kiss my dad, because I don't, but it would, because I've trained my mindset to believe I'm 21 years old. Ray, I'll kiss you with your eyes shut. So I trained my mindset to be 21 years old. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm 21. And like, if a guy's, like even a guy in his 30s, can't 35. I know you're joking, Ray, but I know if I was into older guys, then you'd like me to be with you. I do know that as well, which is really super sweet. I am flattered, and I really appreciate it, because you are a really great guy, but it's just I can't be. But I do really appreciate you, I do. So it's really weird, because I've had like people being attracted to me from the age of 17 years old. 17, yeah, which is too young, obviously, all the way up to about 76. I say 76 because this was a customer in work. So I get all ages attracted to me, which I think is really nice in a way, because it's flattering. Not that I'm interested in old guys, but I do think it's flattering. I must be universally good looking to lots of different guys or people. Well, some women have found me attractive as well. It's like, thank you, I really appreciate that, but I'm not interested in all of them. But I got asked out by a lesbian once in my job, a customer. She told me, she did say that she had abuse by guys, and she turned to be a lesbian, which I guess some people, it happens to. And she just couldn't be with the guy anymore. And she really got on well with me, because I'm a caring person. And she actually asked me out to dinner, and I had to break her heart. I'm like, I really appreciate it. I really, really do. You're such a nice person. But I said that basically you should try and find dating sites, because she had a disability as well. I think, from what I remember, you should try and find. But I think did she have a disability? But I know I remember saying to her, there are dating sites for lesbians, and I said you should go on these dating sites online and try and get someone there, because I'm sure there'll be someone for you. because I mean, you know, she was talking to me for ages, you know, and I was quite, you know, I've been asked out in an asexual group once by a woman in front of everyone, which was very brave of her to do. And she goes, "Oh, I really like the look of you. I really find you attractive." But this is when I first found out I was asexual, I think. It was either the year I found out or the year after, 2014 or 2015. And she's like, "Oh, I really like the way you look, and I'd like to, you know, I like," basically she was interested in being my girlfriend. I just said, "I just can't. I'm just really sorry. I'm just not attracted to females whatsoever." You know, I didn't want to hurt her feelings, because that's the thing. You know, I have no problems with people being lesbian or gay. I've got gay and lesbian friends, but I'm just not that way. You know, I'm very hetero. I'm very attracted to guys. But yeah, in my case, much younger guys. So usually predominantly 21 to 24, but up to 28 or a little bit older I could possibly go to. But when people can start getting in their 30s, I start being unattracted to them, or not attracted to them, because they're too young looking. But some are too young looking, too older looking. But if they're younger looking and they're early 30s, I could possibly do that, because a lot of it for me is aesthetics in terms of like looks, as well as the fact they're younger. But yeah, but there's been like a guy, there was a guy, a foreign guy in the club that I go to. He must have been about 35, but I didn't like him. I wasn't attracted to him. I could hold his hand to dance, and as soon as he started pulling me towards his body, I was like, no. Absolutely not. 3 times though, he was grabbing me. I'm like, no, I'm not interested. 3 times that to time to go. But so if I go back there again now, he stays away from me, because he got the message. He got so peed off of me because I wasn't interested in him. He went off in a huff the 3rd time. I thought, finally you get the message. So yeah, he went off, which I was glad about. But I prefer much younger guys. I don't feel comfortable being physically close. The only guy I've actually been physically close to at the club so far is an Indian guy. And he's hypersexual. I've only danced with him twice. He's hypersexual. He's one of the most sexual people I've ever met. And he likes my dancing. He gets turned on by my dancing. So I'm just being myself, doing my usuals. I am asexual. I don't want sex, but I do have sexy dancing. Do you know what I mean? It's just the way I dance, because I love dancing. I'm good at it, because I used to do dance classes years ago. I've actually got bronze in freestyle disco dancing. I will show you my bronze thing, actually, so I used to do take dance classes. I know we digress on this stream. So I used to do dance classes, and this is my bronze in freestyle disco dancing. So you can actually see my little plaque there. It's a little bit worn out, a little bit. Look, see, it's fallen off a couple of times. It's got a bit knocked. But it was quite a long time ago. Sally Gray School of Dance in Exeter. So I did got this as the bronze. So I had to do an exam for this, and I got highly commended. So I had to do 2 dance routines in front of 4 judges, I think it was. So I was really happy about that. So I do love dancing. It's a huge passion of mine. And so yeah, and I also did Irish Appalachian dancing, which is more for fun. And I've done ballroom dancing before as well. But disco freestyle is my thing. As disco's freestyle is just when you do what the heck you want, and you're not constrained by society's expectations of dance routines. You're not conformed by certain dance moves. You just do your own thing. So when I go there to this club, I'm dancing a lot of the time on my own, looking at the wall, because it's got different pictures on the wall. And obviously I'm not there for sex, so I'm just looking at the wall a lot of the time. Or sometimes I turn around the stage and I'm like jumping up and down like this. And I don't think, like, some of you are connected to me on Facebook, so some of you will see I've actually got videos, particularly on my Ace Fibro Girl page, of me dancing to club music, like foreign beats. It's like Spanish music, a lot of it I like. So I'm actually loving dancing there. So yeah, it was really good fun. I do like going there when I can. I get a taxi home. You know, I used to walk like at 2 a.m. on my own. I'm like, sod this, I'll just walk. But nowadays there's been a bit more crime in my city, so I get a taxi home usually. And I've digressed so much on this live stream, like we do. I love this live stream because we just digress all the time. But yeah, I do love dancing. So thank you for saying I look 21. That is super, 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 super cool. And I do like, yeah, I've trained my mindset to be 21. So literally, if I have a guy who's like 30, you know, because I'm not attracted to older guys. If I have a guy that's like in his 30s, that's too old for me usually, because to me, in my mindset, I'm 21. So that's why I guess that's why I attract guys who are 18 and stuff like that, even, because I do speak like I'm younger and act like I'm younger. So I guess that's why younger guys even get attracted to me. Normal, I'm attracted to older women. Are you a female or are you a male? Yeah, I'm 24 and I'm more into like 12 to 17. Well, yeah, I'm not into that. Oh, you're male. I'm not into young, I'm not into underage teenagers. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in sex for a start, but I'm not interested in younger guys like that. I mean, I have had 18-year-olds interest in me, but they still look too teenager. I like 21 and up. I like to keep it above 20. I do native Indian dancing in powwows. What's powwows, Ray? Why would you, if you're 24 and you're into 12 to 17? Well, you can't have sex with underage people, can you? And I don't know that you're asexual just because you come on this channel, because I get people who are on this channel that are not actually asexual. So I don't know if you're I don't know. It's platonic. Okay. It's legal in your country. What? It's legal to have sex at that age. Like in the UK, you can't have sex unless you're 16 or older. And I think some part of the United States you've got to be 21 or older. Some other countries are 18 or older. And me, I don't like to do it at all. Normal. It is in Pakistan. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, yeah, you did say you're in Pakistan the other day. So what? Oh, you talked about incest, I remember. Which, yeah, maybe it does happen, but it's not nice to talk about that, really, is it? But if it does happen, it's not good. I do know I've read a few articles about that, but yeah, it's not good. So not here. It's not 10 years in prison here. Yeah, it's 16 years old that you've got to be in the UK, Ray, to have sex. 16 above legally. But I really hope that they eventually get asexuality into schools, which I don't think they've got any like likelihood of doing. But that's why it's important for people like me to do these channels, because there's no way that I think kids should be growing up thinking they need sex and there's something wrong with them if they don't have sex, if they don't want it, if they don't need it. They think they're criticized or made to feel like there's something wrong with them, or that it's unhealthy to not have sex. But it's actually the opposite. Someone who's asexual, who doesn't have the need, urge, or want for sex, it's actually very bad for their health, because if they don't want it, yet they're forcing themselves to do it to please someone else, that's like abuse. Do you know what I mean? And so I think it's so important that more education is done about asexuality, and that more education is like filtered through the system, and that more people get educated about what asexuality is. I mean, when I was the speaker at the UK Asexuality conference last year, I was quite shocked about the amount of people that don't know about asexuality still, that are quite ignorant to it. And I know there was going to be LGBT stuff in the UK schools, but I don't think that's going ahead now like it was. Right, so Ray again, not here. It's Ray. Yes. Oh, Ray, I think it should be 18, not 16. I agree with you, Ray. I think that the legal age in the UK should be raised from 16 to 18 for legal age of sex, because I think 16 personally is too young. I really do. Do you know what I mean? I just do. Normal. I'm 15. I wish I had the courage to talk to older women. Well, you're talking to me now, aren't you? So you've talked to an older woman, because I'm definitely not 15. There are way better than younger girls. Well, yeah, I have to agree, don't I? Normal. 40 plus is my dream age. You're only 15, so I think you've got a way to go yet. Do you know what I mean? Like an older woman. There is actually a video on my channel of what will it take for a younger guy to be with an older woman. You should watch it. It's over an hour long, but it's very good information, because there was a young guy, not 15, older than that, but younger than I would usually go, who was interested in a relationship with me, and I didn't think it was possible for him to have one because of his personal circumstances. And I just thought, as much as he's a nice guy, there's incompatibility there, because like for me, like I know what I want in my life. I'm very direct about it, you know, and I need a guy who's old enough to know what he wants and to be out, you know, to be proud that I'm asexual, you know, because a lot of guys have got for example, social anxiety, which a lot of asexuals do have. Ones that a lot of asexuals are introverted, but some are introverted in a way that you know, they just got introverted tendencies. Others are so introverted that they don't want people to know about their life at all, including their partner. And I won't be hidden. I won't be with a guy who doesn't give me public displays of affection. I literally split up with a guy over that years ago. It's like, I won't be hidden. If a guy doesn't want to give me public displays of affection, that's it. No way, shape or form, don't want to be with him. I don't care how nice a guy is, because I feel like I'm a caged animal when a guy does that. And he's like, oh, it's my religion. I thought, I don't care what it's your religion. If it's your religion, fine. If that's more important than me, fine. But I'm not being with you. Do you know what I mean? So people use things as excuses, to be honest. And if it's their religion, like if it goes against their religion, them doing things with me, then don't be with me. Do you know what I mean? There's plenty of other options out there. I don't need to like narrow it down to that one person who's no good for me. I'd rather say single, to be quite frank with you. But yeah, normal. I mean, obviously, if you want a 40+ woman, you've got to thank you, Ray. You've got to put yourself in the position where a 40+ woman would be interested in you. So you'd have to have your own place and not be living with your parents, because if you're still living with your parents, that's a huge turn off to an older woman, because you don't want to be going with her younger boyfriend and sleeping at his parents' house under their roof, being told what to do. Do you know what I mean? That's the worst thing. At all. Do you know what I mean? Like, for older woman doesn't want that. An older woman wants a younger guy to have his own finances. Older woman wants a younger guy to be able to have money to come and visit her or move to live near her if you don't live near there. And an older woman wants a guy to know his life purpose, to be living his life that he wants to be engaged in what he does, to be very, very into self-development and personal development. Right, they've lived there. The woman's lived a lot in her life. She's got experience. She needs a guy to step up to the plate and be strong for her as well. And like a lot of younger guys, they're not strong enough for me. Do you know what I mean? They you know, some of them, for example, they don't want to show me public displays of affection, which I've already covered is a no-go. You know, it's just like, it's one of those things I just can't stand. It's like, you don't want to snog me in public. You don't want to hold my hand in public. You don't want to put your arm around me in public. I don't want it. I'd rather stay single, because you know what I mean? Normal. I'm working right now and I'm saving up for my own place. Oh, that's really sweet. That's really sweet. But, you know, you are under the legal age of... Oh, no, you said you're not under the legal... You said you're not under the legal age for your country, didn't you? But yeah, I mean, are you asexual normal or are you a heterosexual? Because I don't think I asked you that before, did I? So, obviously, it depends whether you're heterosexual or asexual, like who you go for as to what needs they want. Obviously, if you date a sexual older woman, she'll have different needs to an asexual older woman. Do you know what I mean? I would show my girlfriend public displays. You're asexual, but you like sex. Well, asexuality is the lack of sexual attraction. So are you sure you're not a sexual person rather than being asexual? So, I mean, obviously some asexuals can participate in sex, so, you know, but a lot of them don't. But it's not to say no, not to say everyone does. But I mean, I know on this channel that I have some heterosexuals on this channel that follow me, especially ones that have got partners. They sometimes leave comments to get advice. I'm not sure. I just don't want kids. Oh, right. So you're not sure whether you're asexual or not. Yeah, I mean, if you like sex and you think about having sex with certain people, you're not asexual. You know, if you look at someone and think, I'd like sex with them, then you wouldn't be asexual, because asexuality is the lack of sexual attraction when you don't think about, I want sex with this person. If you see someone in front of you, you don't think, I want sex with them, even if you love them. Do you know what I mean? Probably asexual. I don't think about sex that much. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, you want to try it one day? You'll love my Asexual Guide to Sex book that will be coming out as well. I'm still working on that. It's going to be the most best book in the world ever written on sex. I have to tell you that. I am so happy for the book. I'm so excited. It's like I've never been as excited about a sex book in all my life, because I don't read sex books. But this book I am reading because it's my own. Do you know what I mean? Written by asexuals, not just me. And it's the most profound book you will ever have read on the whole entire subject. Do you know what I mean? It's just such an immersive experience. Like, you've never read anything like it in your life, and I reckon everyone should get it in the world who even wants to. Well, definitely if you want to try sex, because that's what the book's all about. It's about helping people to make an informed decision if they're asexual, whether to try sex or not for the first time, and the pros and cons of it, and the good things and bad things. And in my books, I'm very real. What book? So basically, Normal. This is the first book I wrote that's out already, called and if you live in Pakistan, you can only get the printed version. I don't think you can get the ebook, because I know that one of you, or your this other person was on here at the same time. They said they were having trouble getting it from Pakistan, but I had a Pakistan person who tried to buy it, and they couldn't buy it on ebook. They couldn't buy it on Kindle. They could only get it in the printed copy after it came out, because this printed copy you should be able to order from you should be able to order one of these from bookshops, because it's got its own ISBN, but you might have to pay more for it, because if it's in a bookstore far away from you, then you might have to pay more to get it imported, because it might have changed, because this was 2017 when this was published, right? But the law the Amazon back then, they didn't have an Amazon that sold Kindle books back then. So unless Amazon have now changed and got Pakistan Amazon, because these are published by Amazon. But this, because of printed books under my own imprint, it actually means bookshops can order it in. Like, a publisher found this recently, well, I say recently, a few months ago, in an actual bookshop in London. So the bookshop ordered it in, and it's got it in the bookstore, so, which is a great achievement as far as I'm concerned. It was in an LGBT specialist bookshop. But yeah, so this is the one I wrote first of all, which is Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories. The links are down below in the local Amazon, but like I said, I think you can probably get it in printed from Pakistan, in Pakistan, but you might have to have it imported from another Amazon, so they might have to send it to you. It might be a few weeks to wait, or you should be able to get it from a bookshop if you say Sandra Bellamy Quirky Books, because that's who I go under. But Love, Life and Sex, Asexual and Asexual Diversity. I interviewed 46 asexuals across the globe for this book. Oh yes, Ray's got the book. Ray has bought the book. I've seen it even on his Kindle. Ray is reading it as we speak, and it says it's worth reading. It is. It's really insightful. It's how asexuals view the world in regards of love, life and sex, and tells my own personal asexual story of how I came out to find I was asexual, But I have got another book that I'm currently working on that isn't out yet. It's still being created, called Asexual Guide to Sex. It's asexual sex story, sex advice, sex help, and sex guidance. So it's kind of like really ironic that asexuals have written it, because predominantly we don't want, need, or like sex. But it's very, very insightful. It's super insightful. All the asexuals in the book have had sex, right? So it includes me, because I've had it despite the fact I don't want it anymore, and I'm repulsed by it these days. For me, I had it because I thought I had to in the past, but I would have rather have been doing other stuff like the washing up, and I hate washing up. But do you know what I mean? It's like washing up, listen to my headphones is much better than sex, because I'm not interested in sex. Kissing is a different story. Kissing, I could kiss for hours and love kissing for hours. It's very exciting for me, but sex is like, doesn't really do much for me. Do you know what I mean? It's all the bits before I liked, but not the sex itself was like, well, it's okay. You wish you could have sex. Well, I'm guessing you're probably not asexual by the sounds of it. You just don't want kids if you want sex that badly. Do you know what I mean? But yes, whether you're asexual or heterosexual, whatever sexuality you are, you will love the Asexual Guide to Sex book. And as you're 15, you'll probably want to reading that soon. Oh, just to try it. You're not missing anything by not having it. I have been sex-free now for 8 years. 2011 is the last time I did that. And I quite prefer the life. But I do understand. I mean, I'm glad I tried it. Personally, I'm glad I tried it for me. But I'd rather not ever do it again in my life. And I don't intend to. But yeah, I mean, 14 years. Yeah, Ray hasn't had sex for 14 years, people. He's the record holder so far, I think. But I do know a woman who came to me on Twitter. 65 years old she was, and she found out she was asexual at 65 years of age. So, and there's a person in my book, Asexual Guide to Sex book, and they're 57, 58 years old, and they're giving their personal story. So it's really, really, really interesting. But yeah, the Asexual Guide to Sex book, I mean, obviously normal, you'll love that. It's ideal book for you, because if you want to try sex, then really you need the book. Because literally with my books, I don't censor them. So when I had a publisher interested in a publisher wanted to publish this book, but I said no in the end, because they wanted to remove half the stories out of it. And they like censoring stuff, and I'm like, basically, you know, because they don't want the bad bits, you know, the bits where people talk about some sexual abuse they've had and stuff like that. They don't want that in a book. And I tell the truth in my books. I don't lie. I literally lay everything bare in my books. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to sugarcoat things. So in my Asexual Guide to Sex book, there are people that have had good sexual experiences in there, and people that have had bad sexual experiences in there. Because I think if you are coming to sex for the very first time, you need to make an informed choice and decision whether it's right for you or not. Not the glorified, oh, sex is wonderful, oh, wham bam, thank you ma'am, I've really got to have it, this is incredible. That's kind of fictitious to a certain extent, because when you're beginning to have sex, you don't know what the heck you're doing, especially if you're doing it with someone who's not experienced. You're fumbling around, thinking what to do, thinking about condoms, which you know who to be thinking about. I have to say that on this channel, because there's some people I know who are asexual who want to try sex, and they're not even got any contraception, because they don't usually talk about sex or think about sex. They're like, you know, their mind is not even focusing on stuff they should be focusing on. You know, you need to protect yourself from sexually transmitted diseases and infections and AIDS and stuff like that. So you should be like having condoms. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously you've got to find the right way of fitting them, because people don't talk about this stuff. I'll be talking about a lot of stuff in the Asexual Guide to Sex book. They'll probably not find anything. Well, you won't find a book like it in the whole entire world. How do I have sex properly? It will be in the book. Everyone's given their own story about how to have sex physically, mentally, and emotionally, preparing for sex in the book. So you'll have to get the book when it comes out, because I haven't got hours to spend going through it, and that's why I've done the book, so that people can actually benefit from it in the comfort of their own home and sit it and read it, because there's lots of different asexuals giving different advice about how they do that. Because there's, you know, because obviously as an asexual, like, if you are an asexual who doesn't like sex, doesn't want it, doesn't need it, or is a bit scared about doing it, you need to hear like different points of view, not just mine. Rap, you have gonorrhea. Oh, right, you really need to get that sorted then, don't you? And you need to go to the doctors about it and make sure you don't pass that on to someone else and clear it up. So yeah, I mean, if you've been with another partner and you have had unprotected sex, you should then go to a sex clinic, get checked out to see if you do have infections, and if you do, then you need to get rid of them. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't want to pass them on to someone else. If you love them, you were born with it. Okay, all right, well, guess no one can have unprotected sex with you then. That's what I can say to that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's really, really important that if you do have sex, that you do use protection. And I'm saying that now because I know some asexuals that have tried it and they haven't been doing that. And so I'm being responsible on this channel telling you that. Do you know what I mean? It's really, really, really important. And it's really important that society lets people know that they've been brainwashed and conditioned from a birth to believe that sex is the only thing that makes a relationship happy, that, you know, that you can't have a loving, healthy, happy relationship without sex. And because I'm in these I'm in obviously asexual dating sites, but obviously I run 5 dating groups. I'm on asexual dating sites, but I also help asexuals as well on this channel. Obviously I'm talking about dating and relationships quite a lot. So I really like to give people the both sides, you know, like in the book it will be a lot of detail will be explained about the bad side things and about things that could be good about sex. Do you know what I mean? Even though I don't want it at the moment and I don't want it ever again in my life, and I had it in the past, I've had bad sex and I've had good sex, so I know the difference. And if you're gonna have sex as an asexual, you may as well have a good experience of it, not a bad experience. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to have that, obviously it depends on the person involved, the people involved, how you feel at the time, and lots of other things. But there's certain things that you can do to make it a little bit better. Like if the guy's not just a stick it in guy, which quite a few of them are. But you know, I don't want that ever again. I've had enough of that. I didn't know that I didn't have to have it. And then when I stopped being with that long-term partner, I just couldn't do it again physically. I just can't. I just like my whole body like just Yeah, I can experience arousal, but my whole body's like, my mind's like, no, 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 don't bring it near me. I'm not interested. I always have this motto that I'm attracted to the guy's face, not below the waist. So anything that's below the waist, I'm not interested in. He can keep that for himself. He can do what he likes with it out of my eyesight. I'm not interested in it. But yes, I don't mind sitting on his lap. Yes, I don't mind cuddling. And yes, I don't mind being physically close to him with clothes on. But I don't want to touch that or see it. I don't need that in my life. Do you know what I mean? But top half, I'm quite happy to see his naked chest and do whatever with that. But not the other stuff. When I say do whatever, I mean not my private bits. But, you know, kiss and that type of thing. But yes, so it's really, really important that if you are going to have sex, that you do use protection, that you do get informed about it. So my book is going to be one of the most insightful books you will ever have read about sex in your life, because it will give a very good overview with the pros and cons of it. Like, you get so many books, like, they're so pro sex, like, do this in sex, do this to make the person orgasm, do this to make the person in ecstasy, give them triple orgasms or whatever. You know, it's just like, where's the reality of what it's really like to have sex? Do you know what I mean? Like, where is the pros and cons? Where's the safety aspects? Where's all the nitty gritty that no one tells you about when things don't go right, when things go wrong, when things are embarrassing, when things, you know, aren't as they seem? Like, what happens with all that? And the books, they just don't cover it. So the book that I'm writing with other asexuals, it covers a lot, and it helps any asexual that think about having it for the first time. And obviously any people that aren't asexual will think about having it the first time. It will be the best book for them, because it doesn't sugarcoat everything. And I think that's, you know, that's what's wrong with society. Everyone sugarcoats sex. Do you know what I mean? I'm not interested in it. I'm like, I'd rather be doing other stuff with my life. I don't need that. I don't have an urge for it. I don't have a want for it. I don't look at anyone and think about it. You agree? Oh, thanks, Rap. So it's really, really important to have an overall view of it from a very logical, practical perspective. And I think that's what asexuals are very good at. We're very good at being able to talk about sex in a very educational, informative way, a very like practical way, a very like just talking about it. In my experience of being in the heterosexual world for like half of my life with heterosexual relationships, and being in the asexual world for the rest of it, since 2014, because obviously I've got experience of both sides of the coin, if you know what I mean. I know that asexuals, really, they talk about sex in a better way than sexuals do. Like, a lot of sexuals are afraid of talking about sex. Actually, it's like they want to do it. They watch. I personally hate porn. I'm repulsed by it. I don't watch that type of thing. I think it's disgusting personally. I know some asexuals do that, but I don't like it. I don't need it. Don't want it. I certainly don't need that to get aroused. I could do that by myself. Thanks. It's not doing anything. You know, so, you know, there's so much stuff all about, you know, like that. But it doesn't tell you the nitty gritty of what it's like to practically have it, you know, and it's so sensationalized. And a lot of people who are heterosexual, they don't talk about sex openly. They might post pictures or stuff like that, but they don't actually talk about the practicalities. They don't talk about how many times a week they want it really realistic when they're working and all this stuff. They don't talk about how it makes them feel. They don't talk about what mindset you should have when you're first trying it. I mean, when you're like, whatever age you are, depending on what country you are, yeah, it can be very frightening if you're having sex for the first time, or it can be confusing, you know, and magazines and stuff, they don't tell the real side of the story. A lot of them, it's all glorified, it's all like sensationalized. You know, what happens when you have two people have sex for the first time and things don't go according to plan, and then you're like, well, what the heck do I do? It's quite frightening. Whereas if you're well informed of what could go wrong, you're like, oh, if this happens, well, I know it's happened to other people before, I know how to deal with it, it's fine. You shouldn't tell people you're asexual if you want a boyfriend. Why? Fetch, why, explain. Fletch, I will always tell people I'm asexual. There's asexual guys who are in this live chat, and people who aren't asexual are in this live chat too, you know? So of course I tell people I'm asexual. I'm not gonna have sex against my will, or be forced into it, or coerced into it, or manipulated into it. That's called rape or sexual abuse. No thank you. And if I want a boyfriend, I have to be honest and open up front with him. That's the thing. You should always be open and honest up front. If a boyfriend can't be with me without sex ever, that's fine. Move on. There are plenty of sexuals. But it's not attractive. Of course it's attractive. It's pure love. You can't get better than that. And I don't want to attract all the guys. I only want to attract the one guy that's the right guy for me. I don't need to, I get loads of guys get attracted to me anyway, well, you know, without me even trying. But yeah, you go, girl rap. Thank you. Fletch, you are so mean. Yeah, I mean, Fletch, obviously, you know, I don't even know why Fletch is on this channel, to be honest. Well, I will ban him if he carries on. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no need for it, to be quite honest. He doesn't need to be on this channel. So, do you know what I mean? It's just rude. You only need one good person in your life. Exactly, Ray. And I've got good friends. Ray's asexual. So, do you know what I mean? So, and I only need one guy. And so, not every heterosexual needs sex. There are YouTube videos where there's a heterosexual person with an asexual woman and they live happily without sex ever. I have to tell you that. So if you're absolutely shocked at the fact that a heterosexual could be with an asexual without sex, well, it does actually happen. I have a friend. Oh, okay, I'm 20. Would you want to get dinner and explain asexuality to me? Oh dear, you're a peach. I'll pass on the dinner, thank you, Fletch, but thank you for the offer of a date. I really appreciate that. And as you say it's not attractive, there wouldn't be much point in me having a date with you because already you're not attracted to me at all, are you? Because I don't want sex and you do. So it wouldn't work. It's a bit of a pointless situation. And if you want asexuality explained, just watch all these videos on my channel. I've been doing this channel since 2015 now. And for the next 7 days, I'm going to be doing all about asexuality and what asexuality is. Yeah, Fletch isn't attractive to me either. Well, exactly. I'm not going to be attracted to, you can buy me dinner. You don't want Fletch to buy you dinner, Ray. You really don't want Fletch to buy you dinner. Fletch thinks asexuals are unattractive, which is a complete joke. Your asexuality doesn't make you less attractive because it's just your sexual orientation. I don't want Fletch. I don't want sex. I was born incapable of pleasing a woman. Well, there are far many more ways to please a woman than having sex. And if that's what the whole world thinks is all you can do to please a woman is have sex, that's why there's so many people who are single and not having good relationships. Because that's probably one of the last ways to please a woman, to have sex for even those who want it. Do you know what I mean? People should think of other things, you know. At the end of the day, it's all about having, well, particularly asexuals do this really well. We focus on other things. So how to please a woman? Well, you be her bestest ever friend, don't you? You share your secrets with her. You compliment her genuinely. You be honest with her. You be loving. You be kind. You be caring. Whoops, this isn't Google. Sorry. So yeah, so that's what you do, you know, because pleasing a woman doesn't have to be sexual. It's just when you say those words, society means you want talking about sex, but I don't mean you're talking about sex. Exactly, Ray. Support her, talk to her, be friendly with her, be a best friend to her. You're better than Google. Oh, thanks, normal. Thank you. I will go become a better man. Yes, Fletch, you need to go and become a better man. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I'm not being funny, but anyone in the world can have a disability. I've not got, you know, I do have a disability, but you know, lots of people, like, I'm asexual, so I lack sexual attraction, so I just don't need or like sex, and I don't have to have it anymore because there's thousands of asexuals. I just haven't found the right asexual person for me yet to be in a relationship with. And, you know, if a heterosexual can genuinely be with me without sex and he's good for me, the right person for me, then, you know, just because he's heterosexual doesn't mean to say I can't be with him. Just most heterosexuals do need sex. Even if they don't need it right now, they usually do in the future. But I know some people are with heterosexuals that don't need it. They're very few and far between, but it can be done. What's your disability? I don't see anything wrong. No, I'm just fighting fit and energetic. So I don't know if I've got the book actually. But yes, if you do want to know, because I don't really talk about it because I'm very different. This is my disability, but this is my latest book that says not for resale, but it's actually out now for sale. This is my proof copy. I'm waiting for the copy to come because it's only just gone into print just over a week ago. I think it was about a week and a half, I think it was now. But it takes a while for me to order my books. So this is on special order for me. And so the next book won't have this not available for resale on it. It'll be proper author copy because I've done the final corrections now, but this was my proof. But this is my, so the book looks like this. It's just a few corrections I have to do inside. So fibromyalgia is a disability, which many people don't know. They didn't know about me until they watched this channel like over the last few months. So basically, I don't usually talk about it because what we focus on expands, therefore we shouldn't focus on it. But basically, I'm disabled, Ray, but I put others first. Yeah, but you must always put yourself first as well. If you've got a disability, you should always put yourself first. Like I put myself first now. Like I will look after my own health more than anything in the world because my life is precious, right? So fibromyalgia is a disability. It's a chronic pain condition that affects the nerves and muscles of the body. And most people lie in bed with it all day, quite a lot of the time. They have a lack of energy, which clearly I don't. They have a lot of swelling in certain places, like their legs, and some people are on crutches or in a wheelchair with it. The only reason I'm different is because I manage my condition super well, using the power of my mind to block out a lot of the pain. And also the foods I eat and don't eat contribute me to having less pain, more energy. I generate a lot of my own energy. I've done a lot of self-development work. So basically this book literally teaches people how to have a managed fibromyalgia, have less pain, more energy, and feel happier like a superhero rock star. And there's me on the back in my Ace Fibro Girl outfit. So yeah, it's a autobiographical self-help how-to book. And it's really good for people with depression, anxiety, because most people who have fibromyalgia have depression and anxiety as well. And so it really helps with that. So it's really, really good. But with fibromyalgia, I won't do anything now that harms me. Like I won't be in a relationship that's no good for me. For example, if the guy's no good for me, I either don't get into a relationship if I know he's no good for me, or I get out of it quickly if he's no good for me. Do you know what I mean? Loved this book. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Andy. Andy loved the book. Yes, it's really, really good. It really helped you, didn't it, Andy, actually? I know it helped you. Andy quotes me from my own book sometimes. It's so funny. It's really, really good, though. I love it. I mean, funny in a good way, because Andy quotes my book saying, because me and Andy like really good friends, and when he quotes from my own book, he goes, "Oh, I heard someone told me about this in a book. Yes, improve your life. Yeah, I saw a dramatic change when you read this, even more than my asexual book. That changed your life, and this one did too." So yeah. Hi, Heather. Oh, lots of love to Heather. Heather's a big fan of this show as well. Lots of love to you. Yes, Heather's amazing. So yeah, so that's what disability I have, but I don't like dwell on it. I don't think about it. It just means there's certain things that I have to like look after myself better and stuff. Do you know what I mean? It means that I have I have to do certain things. Like I live like a teenager, and I love it, because if you live like a teenager, then basically I think I can do anything a 21-year-old can do. So living like a teenager is absolutely awesome. It's really, really good for my soul. That's why it's so good to watch kids' movies, to live a really happy, active, vibrant, energetic life. But I look after myself really well now. Like I don't do housework. If I don't want to do housework, I only do minimal amount. I'm not a houseworky person. I'd rather build a website any day. And I just look after myself. I always put myself first, because it's the most important thing. Because at the end of the day, if you could end up on crutches or in a wheelchair, which theoretically I could do if my condition got worse, I don't want to put myself in that position where anything possibly could get worse. So I'm not going to do that to myself. Do you know what I mean? Heather's just joined us. We've digressed from Dora, The Lost City of Gold, which is an absolutely awesome film. Definitely go and see it. To the fact we've talked about my Asexual Guide to Sex book. To the fact we've talked about my fibromyalgia book now. So we're kind of like going, having a wonderful discussion here with lots of interesting chat comments, shall we say. So this is incredible. Yes. So definitely check out this book. The link's down below to Amazon, this book. Normal. Hey, I'm taking an English class and I need to interview someone for an essay. Can I interview you or use your book in my research on asexuality? You'd have to write to me at my email address for permission to use parts of it. You'd be able to use Do you want to quote from the book? Because you can only quote from it if you've got permission from me to quote. If you let me know what you want to quote. If you're just reading it to find out research, then, you know, that's, you know, you can use it for research. But if you're quoting actually out of the book or any parts of it, you have to have my permission, written permission. So you'd have to email me asexualise@gmail.com and tell me what you want to actually use out of the book, because no one, because obviously I'm actually a proper official publisher in the UK by law, so it's got an address. You can actually, there's a actual that's not where I live because I don't give my home address out, but there's an office address in the book. Yeah, that's my office address, so you can write to me at the office address that's in the book. I have to interview someone I look up to. Oh, that's fine. I mean, if you want to interview me, then you'd have to arrange that with me through email. So you'd email me asexualise, asexualise @gmail.com, and let me know how you plan to interview me. Like, is it by Skype? And what type of questions would you be asking me? So yeah, I am up for being interviewed. It depends what publication it is. But if it's for an essay, yeah, but you'd have to like let me know in advance, like what questions they were that you wanted me to answer for you. So yeah, asexualise@gmail.com. It should be in the about section, but it's quite easy to remember because obviously asexualise is the, you know, is part of the channel title, and at gmail.com, so it's quite easy to remember. Make sure you put a good title because I got a spam filter on that as well. So yeah, so let me know if you want that. It'd be cool. So basically, yeah, don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, you know, and you like the content, please subscribe and hit the bell icon, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up as well, because I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, the Asexual Guide to Sex book is coming on really well. I'm getting the rest of the stories in. It takes a long time to work on a book like that. People don't realize, because there's so much goes into it. Like, I'm literally in the Asexual Guide to Sex book, going back to that because it's really good to talk about it. I ask the all the interviewees, they talk about their own asexual sex story, personal to them in it, and give their details, which is really nice, the intimate details and all that lot. And they're also answering 20 questions that you as the reader would be asking them if you were thinking about having sex for the first time. It's really about sex and relationships as well, and it's really insightful. You know, it's like 20 questions that you always wanted to ask but were afraid to when you first like was thinking about having sex. So I think it's it's the most amazing book I ever come across in my life, even though I'm writing it, because obviously when I'm authoring it, when I'm writing it with other people, I am actually having the experience of for the first time of these other asexuals that have had sex, and they just literally are giving their in-depth help, advice and guidance, and each person's got a different perspective because we all experience sex differently. And I think that's something, again, that isn't really covered in the media, it's not really covered in society, that sex is a very unique experience, and the way it makes us feel and think and act and do, and what happens at the time can be very different experience for each individual concerned. And that's what I think makes the Asexual Guide to Sex book just so unique. It's just like, and you really get into the mind of an asexual person, how an asexual person thinks very differently to a sexual person. You can see the brain, like you're in the side of the brain of the person. I just can't wait for the book to come out, but it's still going to be a while. Like tomorrow, well, today now, because it's Sunday, it's kind of really hard because I've got video editing to do, but I've got to get back to 5 people tomorrow with their stories. 4 of which I promised I'd definitely do for tomorrow. And the Monday, I said I might leave one till Monday, and I've got a really busy week coming up because it's Asexual Awareness Week, as you know now. Happy Asexual Awareness Week. And also I'm having an asexual meetup at the end of the week, and my best friend's coming down for part of the week, and everything's going on. So it's just like I'm so busy this week. And I've got my my video date on Monday night with a guy who's not asexual, who's appeared in this chat. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to getting to know the person better. Seems like a very nice, open, honest guy. So let's see how that goes. It'll be very interesting, I'm sure. Hello world, can you Senglish? Well, I am English, aren't I? Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I think I'm going to leave the live stream there for tonight because I've got quite a lot of you watching, I know. Unless you've got any more questions or want me to answer anything for you, please give this video a thumbs up if you like it. As always, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that great big bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now and post a new video. I want to say thank you to everyone who's joined in tonight. Thank you so much. Lots of love to Ray. Lots of love to Andy. Lots of love to Normal. Lots of love to Heather. So lots of love to Fletch, lots of love to Rap, lots of love to Normal, and lots of love to Eunice. Lots of love to everyone. Lots of love. Lots of love. I just like giving out lots of love. And thank you so much for tuning in. So yeah, what is asexualist? It's asexualized. And asexuality is the lack of sexual attraction. And I'll be going more into that over the next 7 days of videos for Asexual Awareness Week. We'll be going into the finer details, more of asexuals, what asexuality is, and the stereotypes and myths we're going to bust through. So it's going to be amazing. Don't forget to keep tuning into this channel. I love you all dearly. Thank you for being part of my community here. Bless you, and I'll see you on the next live stream or video. Lots of love. Take care. Embrace your quirky and each other. And I'll see you on the next video live stream. Bye. See you soon. Bye. Bye. Take care.